Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. You are wrong. You are wrong about diversity, equity, and inclusion consultancy groups, consultancy companies in the video game industry. You are wrong. You have been tricked, bamboozled, and suckered into believing you need to despise them. And who is saying this? Well, it's a former video game journalist, and we should believe them, right? Personally, I don't think we hate journalists enough, but let's get on with this lovely little article from that park place. John F. Trent writes, former games journalist attempts to gaslight gamers about DEI consultants. Now, we've heard this all before. Kotaku did this once before, so hey, we have the usual suspects, of course, coming to the rescue, telling you what you know and what you don't know, despite channels like myself, as well as many others, simply using these consultancy groups' words, their own videos, their own text messages, screenshots, their own recordings against them. We're not trying to change, switch, shift things around. We're showing you what they're saying, and we're showing you what they're doing. And the games that end up coming out that companies like Sweet Baby Stench are involved in, well, you make the decision for yourself. I'm not twisting your arm, but let's keep going. Emma Kent, freelance video game critic, consultant, mock reviewer. Now, she's going to educate you. She's going to educate all of us in this lovely little situation. I hate to say this, but I mean, are you surprised? Telling you how you need to feel, what you need to think, coming to the defense of others. Let's move on. In a thread on X, Emma Kent wrote, "Hello, game consultant here. Well, you said that, so we automatically disregard your opinion and despise you. The idea that consultants are forcing diversity into games is ridiculous, because 99% of the time, the devs have already decided they want their game to be inclusive and just want help fine-tuning how certain stories come across. Hope this helps." A little bit pretentious there, don't you think? Now, the idea that these consultancy groups are not forcing diversity, except we had the one, the only, none other than Bowser-loving Kim Belair come out and state on camera, on video, because, ladies and gentlemen, the internet is forever, take the marketing department out for coffee and terrify them as to what might happen if they don't follow your suggestions. Kind of makes you wonder, who's telling the truth? The way I look at it, Kim Belair stated that, and I think we should definitely believe Kim. And, flush dear old Emma's opinion here down the toilet, because time and time again, I thought about this. I originally saw this, and I thought to myself, immediately, I responded to it, prove us wrong. That's all you have to do. Prove us wrong. That when a diversity, inclusion, and equity group is part of a game, they work with a game, they work with a studio, they work with a title. Prove to us that you are enhancing the title you are working on, because time and time again, the vast majority of these games that have been coming out where SBI or the like have been involved with, the game is, well, for lack of a better term, shite. So, it's not on us to believe you. It's on you, Emma. It's on Sweet Baby Inc.'s part. It's on Ubisoft's part, Electronic Arts, Square Enix, all these different development companies. It's on them to show us, to prove us wrong, to show us a good game with interesting world, interesting characters, and a compelling story. But that's not what's happening, is it, Emma? In a subsequent post, she continued, "The people peddling this conspiracy theory are fabricating rage bait content to grow their YouTube channels and social media followings." Well, I don't even have 5,000 subscribers, and I'm still talking about this nonsense. So what am I peddling? What am I fabricating here exactly, Emma, dear? Because all I'm doing, and I know numerous other channels are all doing the same, we are simply showing the receipts. Unlike your side of this argument, who claims all kinds of nasty little things about us, you don't come with receipts. Which, if you are getting death threats, if you are getting hateful messages, racistly motivated messages, you would think you would have a laundry list of screenshots that you could post all over the internet, because, again, The internet, it are forever. But no, you don't have that. But we do. We have the tweets. We have the screenshots. We have the video evidence of what the likes of Kim Belair have said. Makes you wonder, who is fabricating what? Back to the quote. You do not understand how the industry actually works. Well, actually, there's quite a few people fighting back against your ilk that have been part of the game industry, that have been, like, one of which, I believe his name is, Thomas Muller, who is a developer, a lead developer, who comes out and, for the most part, agrees with our side more than yours. How interesting is that? And we don't understand how the industry actually works. Yes, dear, we do. We're just tired of companies like Sweet Baby Inc. being involved in games that end up being shit. Because, well, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, well, it must be forced diversity and inclusion. They do not understand how the industry actually works. Yes, we do, dear. Nor do they care to learn. I have learned way more than I ever thought I needed to know, or learned more than I ever thought I would learn. You know, starting my channel and doing digging and reading articles and listening to people talk. So we are definitely learning and paying attention. And we see how your side of the industry works, and we don't like it. We don't care for it, and we will continue to voice our opinion, put the games on Cabrutus Rambo's list, the diversity, inclusion, and equity detected, and we'll close our wallets and stay far, far away from those games until the developers, well, read the room. The market decides, not you, not SBI, not any of these consultancy groups. You cannot force people to buy your game, no matter how many nasty little schoolyard names you call us, because those names don't mean anything anymore. They are simply seeking engagement. Well, that's partially true. We are always seeking engagement because we want to get the word out. We want to get the message out, the information, because that's all we're doing. I put my opinion in here every now and then. Of course I'm going to, because I'm talking about it. I'm going to put my opinion in there. But my goal is to get the information out. Just get the information out and let the people decide for themselves. She added, quote, the fact that this is brought up again in reference to Dragon Age the Veilguard, we've seen so many clips, and ladies and gentlemen, we'll be streaming it. I'm downloading it right now, as a matter of fact, just stated the video, cool, is particularly laughable. Oh, do really? Have the people throwing these forced DEI allegations around ever actually played a BioWare game? Yes. Yes, I have. And you can tell in the writing, in the execution of the game, when you put into a fantasy game, a fantasy setting with magic and dragons, the things you put in there, the dialogue options and the character customization needs to make sense. But if you're putting in there top surgery scars, that does not make sense in a magic world. Because in most magic worlds, you have items and spells that can change you on a molecular level. Also, some of the dialogue options that I've seen, oof, in a fantasy setting. Oof, OOF. Because that's how people talk in a fantasy setting, using modern colloquials, modern ideological terms like non-binary in a fantasy setting. They do not fit. They do not make sense. They pull you out of the game, and that is why we send out the accusations of forced diversity, inclusion, and equity. As gamers, we don't generally care what you put into the game, how much diversity and inclusion and inequity. We don't care. We want fun games, but you're failing to accomplish even the smallest bit of fun into these games. Because the nonsense that you put at the top, that you put most importantly, the diversity, the ideological nonsense dialogue, pulls people out of the game and they walk away. they'll go watch someone else play the game and go, oh, thank you for saving me $60, $70, $80. First off, DEI consultants are indeed trying to force diversity into games. Yes, we already know this. So we're going to have a recap. Oh, this one. Oh, Sweet Baby Inc. A nice little screenshot because I don't know. Did they change this? I haven't gone and taken a look at their website as of late, but I heard they did some few changes here and there. And this one, founded in 2018. Yeah, if it's not forced, but it is yet still their goal. I remember I did a video on this. Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development and consultant studio based in Montreal, blame Canada, and working around the globe, infesting all corners of the gaming industry. Our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories. Hey, that's not what it said before, or is it? Oh, while diversifying and enriching the video games industry, we aim to make games more engaging, more fun, and more inclusive. So your goal is to diversify the games, the stories. How about your goal just to be to make good stories? How about we start with making interesting characters, good stories, interesting worlds that people want to explore and return to, unlike Starfield, which is a fucking puddle of water. During the 2019 Game Conference, yes, my absolute favorite quote. We'll go ahead and read it again because, ladies and gentlemen, this is my favorite quote from Kim Belair. If you're creative working in AAA, this is her words. This is not rage bait. This is not taken out of context. This is her words, verbatim. At a video game conference, GDC, Game Developer Conference, 2019. If you're creative working in AAA, which I did for many years, yeah, you also did some other videos. I do like the photo. Anyway, but this stuff, put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value and what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. Her words, she said it. Terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want. But because they have to consider, I say that out loud as a joke, but it's actually very, very true. Because if you start to consider the people who are player and audience facing, and you have to deal with mitigating harm, they're video games. It's video games. The purpose of a video game is to entertain people. You want a story with interesting characters, an interesting world, and functional gameplay loop. What harm are you mitigating? People want an escapism, a power fantasy to get away from the nonsense of the real world, but consultancy groups like Sweet Baby Inc. and, well, apparently lovely, lovely ladies like Emma Kent are trying to force their nonsense over the fun aspect, and that is where they're suffering. That is where they are failing time and time again. They are forgetting. Make it fun first, fucker. But that's all I've got. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.